And here we go, another episode of the Imagine It Wrestling Podcast. Not that hard to say for some of us. My name is Martin. This is, of course, the ultimate babyface, Charles Johnson!
I'm not sure what to make of that.
Johnson! Well, today we're talking about a subject I know you really are anxious to get to. This is an idea I had. What if the WWE had made the choice to go with Batista as their biggest star over John Cena?
Because one of the things that, I look at this, that was really my era of wrestling. As a kid, as a young kid, it's Rock and Austin, but when you grow up, that was when it really, you're at an age where you understand what's happening in pro wrestling more so, and you're invested in these guys.
Because what you're saying is that I'm old?
Yes.
Well, I can't deny it.
There you go. But you have so much wisdom. So.
Yeah, and good looks. Good looks, too.
Sure. Whatever gets you out of bed in the morning.
All right, keep going on. Imagine it. Batista over Cena. Go ahead.
I love Batista. I think Batista's great. He is one of that. I watched Monday Night Raw more than I watched SmackDown. So I got to follow Batista when they made him the champion over Hunter. So I was like, oh, this is great. This is the guy. And then it's okay, well, it's going to be Cena or Batista. And then they do the draft, and then they do that swap. And the minute you see Cena going to Raw, you go, okay, well, that's it. This is the guy that they want to go with. Cena is the guy that they're picking. And you're like, oh, that kind of sucks, because I really like Batista. I don't know what... I think Dave works, but I don't know if it works as well as Cena. I think ultimately they did make the right choice going with Cena over Batista, and I think that's just in terms of age and health. I just don't know how consistent Batista would have been.
Okay, let's make this unequivocally clear. They 100% made the right call. Not I think or maybe. John Cena was the right guy.
Yeah.
John Cena had gotten over kind of organically, doing the rap stuff, having a little edge, the ruck fools, the double entendres, with his rapping. He got over organically and was getting a massive babyface reaction due to it. The fans, he was a cool heel. The fans started to get behind.
Yeah.
Batista was built storyline wise to be a big star and to be a big babyface.
Yeah.
It wasn't so much organic as it was, he's getting screwed by Hunter. We really want to see Triple H get his.
Yeah.
And this is the guy who can do it. Because he's big enough, strong enough. And at the time, they were probably... I think Batista might have been even hotter than Cena. But you could see why it was that Cena's the guy they want to go with. One of the things that the WWE, again, and Vince McMahon in that era would go back to what he really always had success with. And he had success with people with a move that he could market and get over, and a catchphrase or two. What's your favorite Batista shirt?
There is none. They did. I wonder if that's there is really no Batista shirt.
No. Yeah. What's your favorite Batista catchphrase?
I guess his only real catchphrase was the thumbs up to the thumbs down.
Yeah. What's your favorite Batista finishing move?
The Batista bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just a power bomb that we've seen about a billion times from a billion other people. He didn't have those things that they could market. So that's why Cena was the right guy. Cena had the 5-knuckle shuffle, those iconic t-shirts, the different color schemes. They went with the right guy. Now, if they had gone with Batista, it would have been really interesting because does that mean he doesn't leave as early as he does to do movies?
I definitely think he probably sticks around longer. I think that's definitely something that they that he sees them investing in. I think he sticks around a little bit longer, but I think ultimately his aspirations were Hollywood eventually.
Yeah, if you look at it, he's the better actor.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
John Cena's the better maybe movie star.
Yeah.
But Batista's a much better actor than John Cena as far as acting ability is concerned. You know? And so I think he still would have left if he could have gotten that Guardians of the Galaxy role, it wouldn't have mattered. He would have wanted it.
Yeah.
Because he would have seen it as a place where he could get his foot in the door. He might have, maybe we'll do this someday. We'll talk about the WWE movies. And, what if they had gone about it a different way, if we imagine it. But I think you would have seen SmackDown. Like, they wanted Raw. Raw was the A show. They wanted Raw as the A show.
Yeah.
SmackDown's the B show. That was their mentality then. That's still their mentality.
Yeah.
It has always been the number one show, their flagship show. I think if Cena stays, you would have seen SmackDown become the A show.
Yeah.
I think it would have gone past Raw. I think Cena was more undeniable that way, just as a slightly more charismatic guy and with those more marketable traits that we had mentioned. So I think you would have seen SmackDown. I'm not sure it would have been that different. I think Cena would have overtaken him anyways, and they would have been forced to push him, even if they hadn't chosen him.
Yeah.
Because of that, and I think you would have seen SmackDown get the bump from him. One of the things was when he went over, he was still getting all babyface reactions. It was within 4 months or so on Raw that his whole rap gimmick stopped working, and
the chain gang soldier, because he was coming off the Marine.
Yes, exactly, and you had him, facing Chris Jericho and Kurt Angle, and the crowd kind of was like, wait a second, his work isn't that good, and turned on him. And that still would have happened, I think, on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think he's facing different guys, he's facing Edge or whatever, but, The Undertaker, but I think the crowd would have turned on him.
Yeah.
Maybe if the one thing that's different, and this could be huge, if they chose Batista was the number one babyface, Batista's on Raw, he's on SmackDown, he starts getting the crowd that's older to boo him, I don't think they would have been as hesitant to turn him heel in that era.
Yeah.
And that changes the trajectory of many things. What do you think happens then? Imagine it.
Oh, Cena turning heel.
If they had gone with it.
Well,
because the crowd was turning on.
So if you're going with Dave as your number one babyface, and then you've got Cena would rise up to your number one heel. So there would be a collision course at a WrestleMania a lot sooner than WrestleMania 26. It would have been at 24 to 25. We would have seen a one-on-one match, because that's what it would have been building to. If you've turned Cena heel and you have Dave as your number one babyface, and say the crowd stays behind Dave, then in all likelihood that's a Mania match, and then that's a main event, and I've always thought that should have been a match that they've done sooner between Batista and Cena.
Absolutely.
They're your 1 and 2 stars. It should have happened, and it should have happened like in the real world. It should have happened with Dave as a heel, Cena as a babyface. But in this alternate world, you could have easily done it. Like, either way could have worked. Heel or babyface. So, I think that would have been a really big WrestleMania main event.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would have been, like I say, they didn't have the reason to push him necessarily as the babyface, as the number one guy, if they already chose Batista as it. So maybe he turns heel. The question is, say he does turn heel, and you talk about that as the WrestleMania main event, what happens to the other main eventers like Randy Orton or even Triple H if Cena's the number one heel?
Well, if Cena's the number one heel, that probably slows down someone like Edge as well. That slows down Edge.
The fact they had the different brand splits and had different pay-per-views maybe would help them still.
Yeah. But, man, that's still, like... that slows down like both, because Orton and
doesn't slow down Hunter.
Oh, nothing's stopping Hunter because he's unstoppable at that point.
And he was already established at that point, to be fair.
He was established, and I don't have high opinions as Hunter as the wrestler, especially in that era, the Reign of Terror and everything.
But I mean, you look at Batista. Batista is probably passed by somebody regardless, even if they chose him as the number one guy, and even if he sticks around longer, because he was passed, you would argue, on SmackDown as a babyface by Eddie. Right? And that, like it just, he was pushed as the number one babyface, and Eddie got hotter. And Batista, as great as he is, and I do respect him in a lot of ways, and you said you loved him and everything like that, the fact is that he could be passed by people where Cena wasn't. The only guy Punk came fairly close. The other guy was Mysterio for a while. There's a period they could have turned... Jeff Hardy, yeah. They could have turned Cena heel and had one of these guys as the top babyface. Jeff Hardy, of course, not reliable enough, the problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was very much like there's a domino effect to this that is huge, that kind of goes through.
I think like just looking at this era of wrestling, like there's so many little things that this thing happens, and then it just has that cascading effect over the whole era, and just where guys go. I think you are probably right that Batista would get passed regardless. If they had even gone with him over Cena, I think Cena, the one thing that I just read an article recently where they were talking about Cena's work ethic in Hollywood, where he's there on set 40 minutes early, he's doing all these extra things that he needs to do that most people are like, I'm okay, I can get by. I just think ultimately what happens is Cena's work, like for Batista to pass Cena would suddenly have to lose his work ethic to make that happen.
Nothing against Batista's work ethic. If this doesn't happen though, Batista also doesn't have that fight with Booker T.
Yes, and that's probably the biggest thing from that.
Seriously, because that affected his trajectory. Yeah. Because he lost that fight to Booker T, and that weakened him in Vince's eyes, because Vince is so alpha male, right?
Yeah, and that's where we get King Booker.
Yeah, so, I mean, like you say, it's a really interesting concept. One of the things I think that would have happened, that would have forced them maybe to go with Cena anyways, is regardless of if Batista's pushed as the main babyface, the Make-A-Wish would still be asking for John Cena.
Yeah. And
Rey Mysterio and these guys, I think would have, and that's another reason why he might have been passed.
Yeah, you can't understate how important that Make-A-Wish is.
Absolutely.
It is the single greatest. It's one of the greatest things Cena did as a wrestler. Absolutely. Was how much he did for Make-A-Wish.
Yeah. So I think that's it. I mean, it's one of those topics that the more you dig in, the more you pull out dirt, the more dirt's there underneath, and you just keep going and digging and digging and digging. And so we could go on it, but I think that's kind of a pretty good overall look at what would have happened if they had gone with Batista over John Cena.
No. I agree. And it is the era I grew up in. It was the big era that I grew up in. So it's like looking at it, you just think about what would happen. Like you said, it's a rabbit hole. I started thinking about Carlito and Chris Masters and all these guys, Ken Kennedy. How does this impact their trajectory on the card?
Absolutely. So please give us your thoughts on it. Imagine it. Batista over John Cena for the WWE. Tell us your thoughts. Give us your opinions on episodes. Like us. Follow us. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. I rule. He rules. And that's it, folks.